Key testimony today from a man who used to be the bodyguard for Pittsburgh's mayor. There he is. And what Fred Crawford told the grand jury late today could have a major impact on the mayor's future. Crawford promised to, maybe you heard this, quote, spill his guts to that grand jury.
His lawyer told us what went on behind closed doors. Channel 11's Rick Earl is live downtown. And Rick, this attorney was really fired up, even talking indictment.
Yeah, very fired up indeed. Fred Crawford spent 2 hours testifying before a federal grand jury outside the courthouse. Crawford's attorney says, hey, look, he told the whole truth. He also had a very strong message for the mayor. What do you plan to tell the grand jury?
No comment, no comment.
Fred Crawford had little to say on his way into the federal courthouse, but he had plenty to say to the grand jury. Outside the courthouse, Crawford's attorney said the 2 hours of testimony focused entirely on Mayor Luke Ravenstahl.
But I think what you will find is that there have been a lot of taxpayers' dollars wasted on overtime for bodyguards just so the mayor could have a designated driver and a chauffeur while he went to bars and caroused late into the early morning hours.
The mayor has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing and claimed Crawford had an axe to grind and wasn't telling the truth. Crawford's attorney says that's just not true.
This investigation by some has been characterized as either a scandal or a pack of lies. Well, my client testified truthfully, and I don't think the U.S. Attorney's Office furthers a pack of lies.
And Crawford's attorney also gave an indication of where he thinks this investigation, this case, will ultimately end.
In your opinion, is he going to be indicted?
And my speculation would be yes.
Now, these are the strongest comments we've heard so far about the mayor. Of course, the mayor has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing and says he's looking forward to all of the truth coming out. I called the mayor's office this afternoon after Fred Crawford testified, asked them if the mayor would have any comment. I was told they are checking with him right now. That is the very latest. Reporting live downtown at the federal courthouse, Rick Earl, Channel 11 News.
All right, Rick, thanks so much. And as you know, this investigation has been getting closer and closer to the mayor since March. Let's take a look right here now. When a grand jury indicted former police chief Nate Harper on charges he funneled city money into credit union accounts and used it for personal purchases. His lawyers say he plans to plead guilty. There's more here. 2 other bodyguards testified in May, as well as Ravenstahl's personal secretary. And this month, it came out that Ravenstahl's ex-wife refused to testify twice and to speak with federal investigators as well. Back to big story coverage. He's a veteran police officer, a Defense Department subcontractor. But it's Fred Crawford's time as a bodyguard for Mayor Luke Ravenstahl that the grand jury's interested in. Channel 11's Alan Jennings live now to explain why his testimony is so important. Alan.
Hey, David, Fred Crawford, the former bodyguard for Mayor Luke Ravenstahl, is now a bomb expert for the military. We wanted to get some insight into his background, his experiences in Afghanistan. So I had a couple of minutes to talk to him on his way to the federal grand jury to testify against his former boss. Can we talk about your duty overseas?
I'll discuss that at a later date.
Okay. So why did you retire from the department, to take that job?
No comment.
So you said you were going to spill your guts. Can you just give us a little preview?
We can't make a comment at this point.
The mayor's bodyguard on his way for a nearly unprecedented 2-hour session before a federal grand jury. Crawford spent 25 years in the Pittsburgh Police Department, SWAT team, and the bomb squad. He retired to take a job with a subcontractor for the Department of Defense overseas. Crawford apparently worked with a bomb disposal group in Afghanistan with U.S. soldiers. When he left the courthouse, I asked him again, but his lawyer wouldn't let him respond.
Fred served the United States as a law enforcement professional, aiding our troops over there and aiding our country.
Most of today's questioning before the grand jury related to allegations of Luke Ravenstahl using the police force for his personal gain.
There have been a lot of taxpayers' dollars wasted on overtime for bodyguards just so the mayor could have a designated driver and a chauffeur while he went to bars and caroused late into the early morning hours.
It's apparently still going on. We watched in surprise today as a Pittsburgh police cruiser 3225 with lights flashing, stopped cars and pedestrians to pick up retired bodyguard Fred Crawford Jr.
Now, we brought this to the attention of the chief's office. Regina McDonald, the acting chief, told us by email that that pickup was not authorized and it is currently under investigation. Fred Crawford may be back to testify before the grand jury. We'll keep you posted. Live on Grant Street, Alan Jennings, Channel 11 News.
Mayor Luke Ravenstall's former bodyguard spent more than 2 hours testifying today before a grand jury.
And that grand jury just wrapped up for the day. Target 11's Rick Earl is live with a look at where this goes from here. Rick.
Yeah, Courtney, Fred Crawford's attorney came out swinging today. He called the mayor a bully who's been backed into the corner, and he says the mayor used those bodyguards as his own personal chauffeur to avoid any late-night excursions.
Do you expect the mayor to be indicted, Bob?
You would have to ask the U.S. Attorney's Office. I certainly believe he's a target.
Attorney Bob Stewart with his client Fred Crawford on the steps of the federal courthouse after Crawford spent 2 hours testifying before a federal grand jury. While Mayor Luke Ravenstall has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing and said his former bodyguard has an axe to grind, Crawford's attorney says that's not the case. Is Fred telling the truth?
Yes, he is.
The whole truth?
That's my belief. I have no reason to disbelieve him.
Stewart would not reveal any specific details about Crawford's testimony. Crawford had said that the mayor knew about a secret police account and ordered his bodyguards to use that account to conceal his activities. Stewart says the testimony before the grand jury focused on that.
What you will find is that there have been a lot of taxpayers' dollars wasted on overtime for bodyguards just so the mayor could have a designated driver and a chauffeur while he went to bars and caroused late into the early morning hours.
And tonight, the mayor's attorney, Chuck Porter, tells us that Crawford's testimony was inconsistent with the testimony of the other two bodyguards. And Porter says driving the mayor to a bar does not rise to the level of a crime. That is the very latest. Reporting live at the federal courthouse downtown, Rick Earl, Channel 11 News.
Thanks, Rick. And Rick is a must follow on Twitter for the very latest on this investigation. He's at WPXI Target 11. Watch for continuing coverage of this major story online and on Channel 11 News.